What's up, losers? Back at you again with another video. This one's going to be very low effort. This is going to be would totally kick my ass on the left here versus could totally kick their ass. And these are all cereal mascots. I'm going to be rating them. I've seen some other people do this before. I don't think they really are understanding the gist of this, though. You see, I'm going to be doing it to scale. So, like, if you're the size of an apple, then I'm going to be able to destroy you. You're not going to be life-size, okay? And if something is towering over me, you're going to be towering over me. So I feel like that makes a little more sense. Like, Tony the Tiger is not going to be my same size, you know? Tony the Tiger is going to be this hulking giant that they portray him as. So with that being said, let's get started. Oh, by the way, very low effort. I don't actually have a proper photo editing software. So instead of using one, I am actually just going to be using my desktop with a background. And I'm going to be dragging images around. So it looks pretty ghetto, but I assure you this is the best way I could find that was free, that doesn't look like absolute garbage. So with that being said, let's get started. I guess the first person on this list would be Sugar Bear. Yeah, I could totally kick their ass. Yeah. I'm going to put them way over here. I might adjust it a little later in the video. You know, oh, he would kick my ass more than he would. But at the end of the day, I would destroy Sugar Bear. He looks weak. He's got a weak chin, you know. It looks like a total beta. He doesn't look like he could actually fight anything. And that's excusable with some of these mascots. But he just doesn't look strong enough. He doesn't look like he could take a punch. So I'm going to say Sugar Bear could totally kick their ass. Next one, let's go with Corny the Flake Bird. Corny, I could definitely kick Corny's ass as well. Now, I know a lot of people are, like, scared of birds. They think, oh, well, it's a bird, it's going to be crazy. No, I think I could kick his ass. He doesn't look very tough. He's got weak legs. You know, I could just grab him by the leg and throw him into a lake or something. He has a pretty prominent neck, so I probably couldn't grab him by the neck, but he doesn't look like he weighs very much, so I think I could just pick him up by the legs and just chuck him. He doesn't look like he has a very strong beak or anything either, so not really any fighting tools. We're assuming none of these characters have any weapons. You know, obviously, if Corny the Flake Bird pulled a Glock out and just yeah, I'd be screwed, but we're assuming he doesn't. I could totally kick his ass. I'm going to say above Sugar Bear, though. Boo Bear, or Berry Boo Ghost, he looks very unintimidating, but he's also a ghost, so I wouldn't be able to land any punches on this guy. I don't think he could, like, possess me or anything. I don't think he could really land a hit on me either, though. He doesn't look like he has the right skill sets for that kind of ghost. So I'm going to say fair fight, I guess. I don't know where to put him because I couldn't really kick his ass. He couldn't really kick mine. So, yeah, that's where I'm going to put him. Trix Rabbit. Once again, he gets his ass kicked by little kids. I'm going to say I could kick his ass. I'm going to go above Corny the Flake Bird, though. I think that both of these characters are pretty weak. Next guy would be Lucky Charms Leprechaun. You know, this is an unpopular opinion. I think the Lucky Charms Leprechaun would destroy me. I think he would absolutely ream me in the ass. And my reasoning is, and I know, you know, you might be like, oh, well, you just said that the Trix Rabbit, you could kick his ass. He gets his ass kicked by children, right? Yeah, so does Lucky the Charms Leprechaun. But he has magic. They've displayed that in their ads. He's you know, he doesn't look like he would not be able to take a punch, so I could punch him and he'd just bounce back, be fine. I think that those children are on something. Maybe the Lucky Charms gives them magical powers, and that's why the Leprechaun wants them. But these are not normal children. They do all sorts of crazy shit. They jump into streams like 50 feet from the air. I've seen an ad where they did that. These children are not human, okay? If they can kick Lucky the Charm's Leprechaun's ass, they could totally kick my ass. But beyond that, Lucky Charm's Leprechaun could kick my ass. So that's where I'm going to put him. Next, let's go with the California Raisins. I've seen a lot of people talking about how California Raisins could kick your ass because there's 4 of them, and because they are, they look pretty tough. And although I agree with that statement, I'm assuming they're the size of raisins because I have no reason to believe otherwise. In the ads that I have seen, they show them as the size of raisins. So I would destroy the California Raisins. I'd just eat them. I mean, I'm not a big fan of raisins, but I think I'd make an exception for these guys. I think they would even be below Sugar Bear. I wouldn't just be beating them up. They would be dead. They would be executed. They would be in my digestive tract. So now let's go with Captain Crunch. Captain Crunch could definitely kick my ass. And I know what you're thinking. You're doing to scale, so he's probably 3 feet tall. Yeah, he probably is 3 feet tall, but he looks like he's got that kind of energy about him where, like old man energy, where, you punch him and he's not really affected by it. I mean, maybe it's his dementia or something, but old men, they can take a punch. This guy's old. And he looks happy-go-lucky, but he also strikes me as the type of person where if you punch him, all bets are off. He's throwing you off his Captain Crunch boat straight into the river. You're going to freeze to death. So I think, especially on his terms, he would kick my ass. I still think the Lucky Charms Leprechaun is stronger, though. I'm going to kind of put them over here, though, because I think there's some room for some upper card guys farther along here. Let's go with Fruit Loops Bird next. Again, Fruit Loops Bird, same as Corny the Flake Bird. I think I could kick his ass. He's a bird. I mean, he's got a prominent beak, but it kind of like swoops down. He doesn't have a pointy beak. I feel like if he had a pointy beak, he might be able to have something to fight me with, but he doesn't. So, couldn't deal any damage to me. He's got weak arms. He doesn't have a super weak neck, but I think it's based on, scale of him. He's probably about this big. I could totally grab his neck with one hand. Just hit him against a wall. Really whatever you want to do. I think he's above Corny the Flakebird, though, because Corny the Flakebird has some really weak legs and does not have a prominent beak, so he'd be able to bash me with his beak, like it'd be like punching somebody, but I mean, he's still a small bird, it's not going to do much. Let's go with Frankenberry. I think Frankenberry is the same as Berry Boo Ghost. They're about the same strength level, except that Frankenberry is a physical object, so I could definitely punch Frankenberry. And he also looks like he's stoned all the time, so he doesn't look like he'd be able to put up a fight. I could definitely kick his ass. Yeah, where do I put him, though? I think he's more powerful than Corny the Flake Bird, but less than the Fruit Loops Bird. Yeah. Berry Boo Ghost is somewhere in here. Alright, let's go Honeycomb Demon. I think he would destroy me. I think he would absolutely destroy me. If you've seen him in the ads, he is a psychopath. He's flying around, just flailing his arms. I think he's like a rabid animal. Like, I don't see how I would deal damage to him. I'm not as fast as he is. He's like Sonic the Hedgehog over here. Crash Bandicoot or something to that effect. I feel like you would need a gun to kill this man, and even then, I think he might be able to dodge the bullets. So I'm going to say he's even stronger than the Lucky the Charms Leprechaun. I think he could absolutely crush me. Coco Pop's monkey. I don't know much about him, but he's a monkey. He looks pretty beta to me. Never ate Coco Pops, so I don't think they give you superpowers or anything. I'm going to put him alongside the Frankenberry guy. Coco Puff's bird. Coco for Coco Puffs! Yeah, I think he's the strongest bird out of this list so far. He's got a sharp beak. He's a little more energetic. He's got more stamina. But he's still a bird, and he's still not very big. So I'm going to say I could still kick his ass, but it's a little closer of a fair fight. He's definitely not going to be as weak as Trix Rabbit or Fruit Loops bird. So, all right, now let's go Honey Smacks Frog. Yeah, I'm a Honey Smack you, dumbass frog. Yeah, he's like 3 feet tall, maybe 2.5. He's like, 70 pounds soaking wet. Might be slippery, I guess, so that would be something to his advantage. But again, he looks weak. He doesn't look like he's very strong. Giving you the thumbs up. I don't like this guy. I think he's weaker than... He's somewhere alongside Sugar Bear. Not quite California Raisin's weak. Home bee, bees got that energy about them where they can, they're really aggressive, right? Very territorial, but he doesn't seem very territorial. I mean, typically they're territorial, their hive and their honey. This bee gives his honey away freely, so I don't think he has any sense of priority as far as a bee is concerned. Yeah, I mean, he's still a bee, so I don't know. I'm going to put him right there for now. Quik Bunny. Yeah, I could kick his ass. He looks tough, but he's somewhere alongside the Trix Rabbit. He's not that great. Let's go Count Chocula. Unpopular opinion, he would destroy me. I mean, he doesn't look very tough, but he's still a vampire, and I feel like he still has... he's got a cereal, but he's still a vampire, so I think he still has a craving for human blood. I think that bloodlust would be what would do me in, for sure. I think he would just bite me and either turn me into a vampire or actually devour me. So I think Count Chocula would kick my ass. Maybe somewhere next to Lucky the Charms Leprechaun though, because he's not a very strong vampire, but I think any vampire would kick my ass. So Cinnamon Toast Crunch Old Man. I'm gonna say that's a fair fight. He's not very big. He's not very strong looking. He's kind of like the nice old man across the street look. But again, like we've talked about old men before, I think old men are stronger than we give them credit for. But he doesn't look very well built. He looks about my same size. I think it would be a pretty even fight. It would be tough for me to beat him, but I think it would also be tough for him to beat me because he doesn't have a lot to work with. Flintstones would absolutely crush me. Just because they're barbarians, they're crazy. They have clubs that they can hit me with. They have no regard for your noble sensibilities. the Flintstones, I think, would crush you. I mean, they run around beating up dinosaurs and shit, so yeah, I think they've got a pretty good chance of actually just murdering me in a ditch. Tony the Tiger is, I think, the strongest character on this list. Tony the Tiger doesn't look very strong, but he's also like 10 feet tall, and he's just jacked. He is insanely jacked. I feel like Tony the Tiger would just be like, "Where's your god now?" And then, you know, just end you. I mean, one punch, you're down. Tony the Tiger, I think the biggest thing that would make him unstoppable compared to any of these other characters is, as nice as he looks, as nice as he seems, this is a fight. And I'm trying to kick his ass. He's trying to kick my ass. I probably ate his Frosted Flakes or something, and that set him off the edge. I don't know. I mean, I don't think he's the type of person to go out swinging. So I think what would happen is I would start, you know, trying to punch him, giving him my weak ass punches, and I think he would just be like, "Dude, seriously, what are you doing? Like, I'm 10 feet tall, Jack Tiger over here. I could rip you to shreds." I think he's a nice guy, though, so I don't think he would murder me. Although he could. I think as soon as I'm punching him, he would be like, "Okay, well, it's the nice thing for me to do as a good Samaritan to teach this fool a lesson." And then he would give me, like, the weakest punch that he could possibly dish out, and it would probably send me to the hospital for, like, a week. So, Tony the Tiger, I think even against any of these other characters, even all of them combined, I think he's the one-punch man of this universe. Honeycomb Demon would be running around. He would just grab him by the face and, like, crush him. He would, you know, pick up the Flintstones and throw them into the atmosphere. Count Chocula, he'd try to bite him, but, you know, it wouldn't penetrate his thick tiger skin. I don't think there's anything that could stop this man. I think the biggest thing that makes him unstoppable is just his sheer endurance. I don't think anything could damage him. I would be even hard-pressed to say that a gun could do damage against him. So, Tony the Tiger is pretty great. Frosted Flakes dwarfs, they're pretty small. You know, there's 3 of them, but they're probably, they look like they're like either 6 years old or some sort of alternative species, like elves or dwarves or something like that. Hobbits, maybe. You know, I just don't think that they could take me back to the Shire. You know, like I think 3 of them. Yeah, I think I could still kick their ass though. You know. All right, last person on this card list. Cinnamon Toast Crunch guys. Yeah, so this is where it gets really, really weird because, like I said at the beginning of this video, if you're the size of an apple, then I classify you as the size of an apple. So, although he's a physical apple right here, and, you know, the other guy's a cinnamon stick, my problem with it is the depiction of them. You never see these guys depicted as the size of an apple. Well, actually, I think you do get them depicted like that, but, I mean, look at this picture right here. You see them full size running around in a city. So that would mean the apple is like that big, and the cinnamon stick guy is like that big around. And I think the 2 of them combined would be too much for me. I think if it was just the cinnamon stick guy, then, you know, he's pretty scrawny. I think I might be able to break him in half if you gave me enough time. I think it'd be a hard fight, but I think I'd be able to do it. But with the apple guy, I think the apple guy alone would kick my ass because he's a life-sized, human-sized apple. And an apple is pretty hard to bite into. If you didn't know this, you can actually bite your finger off. As easy as it is biting into a carrot. So I would say apples are about comparable to carrots. So I don't think he's any physically weaker than a adult male. I think he would actually be tougher than an adult male because you can't really punch through an apple. So I don't think my punches would do much to him. And, he doesn't have very big arms or legs or anything, but I don't think he really needs to, especially with the two of them combined. I think the cinnamon stick guy would just pick him up, throw him at me like a boulder, and, I'd end up in the hospital. So I think he's above Captain Crunch, but actually I think he's above Lucky the Charms Leprechaun too. I'm going to put him right there. And that is it for my fight card cereal mascot video. I hoped you liked it. It took me way too much time, and it was totally uninspired. So give this video a like if you want to see me do, OnlyFans fight card list next, or you want me to do, Marvel characters, or you want me to do YouTubers, or maybe, I guess, the next natural progression of this would be anime characters, or something to that effect. Hope to see you guys again when I think of some other dumb shit to do. Catch you next time. Peace.